I'm Faniry and I'm currently finishing my first year of medical school at UBC with the VFMP program. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on those of you getting accepted at various medical schools, wherever you are. For those of you that are in Canada, I know currently medical schools are sending out acceptance letters, and I thought I'd share 10 things I wish I knew before I started medical school. Specifically at UBC in the VFMP program, as there are different distributed sites. And so my tips sometimes are tailored towards VFMP, which stands for Vancouver Fraser Medical Program, situated here in Vancouver, BC. But hopefully you can take some general tips and apply to wherever you are. A little bit of background on why I wanted to make this video. After my third application to UBC, when I got my acceptance letter around this time in May into the VFMP program, I was over the moon. I loved watching YouTube videos by other medical students, especially those at UBC, because I wanted to learn as much as possible and know all about the program before I came. And so I thought I'd share my experience. Please comment down below if you are a medical student about things you wish you knew before you started, that I shared that resonates with you or that was not mentioned. And even if you aren't a medical student, please comment on things that you want to know before starting medical school, or if you're on your pre-medical journey, and I'll try to answer, or someone in the lovely community hopefully will. My first tip is that you cannot learn everything or be ahead in material before the school starts. Enjoy your summer. Do not spend the summer trying to learn or pre-learn anything. The program, from my experience, is great at feeding you the content that you need to know in a considerably timely manner, as there is quite a lot. And I also found that they were good at reinforcing your learning through CBLs, where I honestly got a lot of my studying done. And CBLs happen like 3 times a week for that week's material or topic. If you don't know what CBL is, it is a teaching method used in medical schools to help students apply their knowledge and reasoning skills to real-life case examples. And so what happens is that for us, we have small group discussions with a tutor about the week's topic, using case examples, and trying to improve our abilities to reason and care for patients, hopefully one day. Anyways, enjoy your summer to its fullest. My second tip is please be well rested a few days before, or up to at least a week before classes start. Do not do a me and travel right up until the day before orientation the following Monday with no house, which was due to a particular personal circumstance. The adjusting was crazy hard for no reason, lol. At UBC, the first 2 weeks are orientation, and they are full and long days, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and sometimes even longer, if you include the many social activities and festivities planned during those orientation days, which you can check out in my med vlogs up below. Third tip is getting well adjusted and choosing your housing as strategically as you can. If you're not able to be right on campus within walking distance, choosing housing that is close to express/rapid transit, such as the 99, R4, and or SkyTrain to get to UBC. For the first year, the places you'll most frequent is UBC Life Science Institute, where you'll spend 4 out of the 5 days of the week for classes, labs, CBL, and then 1 day of the week at the Diamond Gordon Health Center by VGH for clinical skills. In second year, apparently you spend more time at Diamond. And so if you're thinking long term, maybe you want to live in between or wherever is most convenient for you if possible. It is hard, as renting is super expensive in Vancouver, but the stability of housing and getting a routine down is essential. especially during orientation, to make sure you maintain your energy and you're reasonably well rested. My next tip is to practice using the transit system to and from class and other essentials, especially if you're not from the area. During school, why add the extra stress of being unfamiliar with your surroundings and transit route, especially when unexpected things were to occur, such as missing your alarm, which I have experienced if you've seen my vlogs. Other handy things to have if you're mostly transiting is Google Maps or Apple Maps. Data on your phone was such a lifesaver, and having a power bank if you're out all day. Another thing I wish I knew to do and did was to meal prep, especially with living expenses on the rise and high. Meal prepping is not only a healthier option, but also cheaper, and you won't be as prone to buy less nutritious, high-calorie meals. Next one, plan to travel light as possible and invest in good supportive walking shoes, especially if you're transiting a lot. Your back, shoulder, head, and feet will thank you, with no achy muscles, blisters, no headaches. That one was big problem for me, as my traps would get really tense, and I realized it's because my bag was always carrying such a heavy backpack, as my friends know. Another tip is I really wish I was able to go to the pre-orientation events planned by the lovely incoming year 2 orientation team. For example, our year they had friends speeding dating on campus, hikes and other activities, and those that went were able to meet a lot of the people in the program before orientation the following Monday. It would have been really nice to know a few friendly faces before marching onto unknown new territory. Friends and buddies always make adjusting to a new schedule and exciting journey a bit easier. More for the finance side, as you're figuring out your financial options. If you're interested in getting a student professional line of credit, specifically at Scotiabank, because that's the only bank that I could speak towards, only contact the healthcare and professional advisor. I had a negative experience from one of the branches in Kelowna, not understanding the program and benefits I was entitled to offered by Scotiabank. And so I finally contacted the healthcare and professional advisor, and from that interaction, it is to my understanding that not many employees understand the Scotia professional student plan properly. The main issue I was running into was the previous branch not giving me like full information, and also not giving me access to credit cards that was complimentary with the program. Anyway, contact your healthcare and professional advisor in your province. BC currently only has one for dental law, medical occupational therapy, pharmacy, physical therapy, psychology, and that person is currently situated at the UBC Scotiabank branch as of now. Another one, even though I mentioned earlier, is to not pre-learn anything, but I wish I got more familiar with all the note-taking systems and taking the time to invest and settle on Notion specifically, which is free with your UBC email. Other note-taking and lecture filing systems that I know my fellow medical students used and that I used was Notability and OneNote. Notability is subscription-based, and OneNote is a window application, I believe, that is free with your UBC email. And I also believe that we get the Microsoft application subscription free with our UBC email. Personally, you can do a lot more with Notion, and so it can seem daunting and challenging at first, which is why I refrained from it in the beginning. Fortunately, I was able to meet with an amazing resident in internal med who shared her experience with me of how much she uses and used Notion during your 3rd, 4th, and even now during residency. It is so much easier to navigate, especially from your phone, unlike OneNote. Notion is much easier to search for typed keywords. However, Notability does have it beat for convenience of finding most words on the lecture slides. And so maybe that is an option to have both or all three. You have to experiment once you're in medical school to see what works best for you. OneNote is also able to search, but it is much harder to navigate, and I did not figure it out until well into the school year. I do prefer OneNote for organizing all the lecture slides that I download. However, the downside is that I have experienced it takes up a lot of storage on my MacBook. It would be amazing if it could download all onto my OneDrive and free up my space. If anyone knows, please let me know. Anyways, overall, especially for long-term usefulness, I would only use Notion if I had to pick. It takes a bit of time to adjust if you're not used to it yet, but definitely worth it. And finally, everyone is so nice. The staff, faculty, student affairs are also supportive and receptive, and they want you to do your best. And the classmates are also amazing, and they're also friendly and sweet in my experience. Create a community around you. Do not be afraid to meet and interact with your classmates. Make friends, especially in the beginning, with everyone. In the long term, they help motivate you and another resource for you to help you navigate through this new and exciting journey. And I think that's all I have for now. Maybe I'll share more in the future, but I hope to see you on campus if you're coming to UBC, and I wish you all the best in your medical journey. And please, once again, comment down below if you have things that you want to share that I did not mention, or anything that resonated with you, or if you have questions. Hopefully I can answer, or someone else will. Bye.